very excited to be here right this minute with my co-author and colleague, Lynne Thorson. We are happily engaged in writing a book about ecstatic birth, about a revolution, actually, a revolution in thinking about birth. After 30 years of working with pre- and perinatal issues, both with pregnant couples and with adults remembering and releasing their births, it's a very exciting prospect to be putting it into book form. The intention is to have 3 sections, one to inspire, one to empower, and one to support the creation of an ecstatic, empowered, conscious birth for the whole family. And so I'd like to introduce you to Lynne and let her tell you about how she came to be working with me and her role, and we're doing this together, which is the most exciting part of it for me. Lynne?
Hi. Yes, I came to find Binny on the internet, which was quite an amazing story because I was just looking to learn about breath work, and all of a sudden Binny's name appeared, and she was also associated with ecstatic empowered birth. And that brought me right back to something that I was very passionate about, that I'd discovered, 10 years ago now, when I had my first child and managed to have a home birth with a breech baby. And that started a whole sort of empowered and ecstatic experience for me. And at the time, I really decided that I wanted to share that experience. I wanted to shout to the world that birth can be joyful and empowering, and it didn't have to be this fearful, painful, traumatic experience that I was hearing from so many of my friends that were going to hospitals and dealing with all of that medicalized birth. So after meeting Binny, I felt an immediate connection, and I knew that I wanted to do something with her. I just didn't know what. And she was amazing because she just said, well, you just tell me what you want to do. And it took me a couple of years to work it out, but doing Binny's source process and breath work in her training in Estonia, I worked through all my various issues and created a lot of healing. And through that healing, I realized that I wanted to write. And the one thing that I really wanted to write about was birth and ecstatic birth. And so in the end, I started to write, and I realized that a lot of what I wanted to say had come from Binny's teachings and experience, as well as my own personal experience. So then I approached Binny to join me in this project so that we could do it together and really create something very powerful.
It is my deep concern to be more in a co-creative process, whatever it is I'm doing. And I've been, I learned so much. I think probably everything I know about birth, I learned from birth. And that co-creative process of mother and baby. And since I had my own ecstatic birth 42 years ago now, I too have wanted to shout to the world. And over these years of developing my work, it was just the most natural thing in the world to say yes to doing this book now.